What's cracking, guys? Omar Isuf here. Now, I know this isn't exactly a bench, but the water just looks so beautiful. Consider this the first anchor review. And you know what I feel? I feel very grounded. I feel stable, I feel solid, I feel ready to tackle the world. And maybe that's why I'm talking about this video today. A little bit of potential controversy, why no one on YouTube is making progress, or seemingly why no one on YouTube is making progress. And the answer is simple. The medium is the message. And what I mean is that people post content daily about their training. So weekly training vlogs, they're updating individuals how it's going. And for a time, people make progress. You know, you go from beginner to intermediate towards maybe early advanced or advanced, but it's the law of diminishing returns. The first year of training, maybe you'll build 20 pounds of muscle. Second year, maybe 10 pounds and 5 pounds and 2 pounds. And then before you know it, you're lucky if you're gaining any muscle at all. And so because there is that diminishing return, nobody wants to see a beginner. People want to see the freaks, or they want to see natural lifters. And maybe I should qualify my statement. Why no natural fitness YouTuber is seemingly making progress? Is it because they're not training hard enough? Is it because maybe they're not on that right routine? Maybe their diet is in order? No, man, it's because the medium is the message. And what I mean is that YouTube, because YouTube itself, the algorithm expects frequent content to keep your channel relevant. People post weekly, which I think is important and it's cool and it's totally fine, but progress doesn't happen week to week. It's like trying to have a bonsai tree and you're like, why isn't this motherfucker, like, why can't I shape this thing? But you've only had it for a day. Progress takes a lot more time. So what you're seeing is a consistent reality of what training actually looks like. You look the same for several months, and then after a year, like strength training, you put on 5 or 10 pounds on the bench press. You know, someone said to me, and I understand those feelings where it's like, Omar, I feel you've looked the same for the last 5 years. I'm like, I've built probably 5 pounds of muscle, but it looks basically the same. What's different? I increased my bench press by about 40 pounds in that time span, so about 10 pounds per year. But progress slows down, but progress is progress, and that's why you have to be realistic. I think people want the freaks, but even if we take a look at the freaks, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Ronnie Coleman, where he had a documentary on Netflix. I think it's called Ronnie Coleman the King, and we're watching it, we're eating some food, enjoying it. We needed to get our yeah buddy on before training.
Yeah buddy, it's on now.
And Ronnie Coleman basically said the exact same thing, and there's no insult to Ronnie, but Ronnie is enhanced. He has awesome genetics, but he actually was talking about strength training, where before he got into bodybuilding, he was doing powerlifting, and he said he wasn't a great powerlifter. Now, I know people have seen his 800-pound squat, where he's wearing a squat suit, knee wraps, and all that stuff. I think it's 800 for 2, and he's just killing it. But he said in high school, he knew guys that were half his size that were squatting 500 pounds, and meanwhile, he was only squatting 350, 400 pounds. He didn't find his right calling. But more than that, the point he said, even with the best genetics in the world, or the top tier, let's say 1 in a billion genetics, just insanely good genetics, and also being enhanced, for him wearing a squat suit, he said it took until he was 40 years old, consistent training, before he was able to hit an 800-pound squat. Now, for a lot of other people, that'd be easier for them to hit that squat. But for Ronnie, who no one could question his training, he is the king of intensity, no one could question his genetics, his discipline, his effort, and then also what he's using to help him with his hypertrophy as well as strength. It took him an exceptionally long time, longer than many people would realize, and that really encapsulates what I'm talking about here on YouTube. You know, for the Olympia, you might see someone year after year, and even year after year, you think, oh, like Ronnie 2001 versus Ronnie 2002. Some improvements, definitely some changes, but progress takes longer than what we're showing you. So if no one on YouTube seems like they're making progress, that's because we're showing it in real time, week to week, as opposed to yearly, and it's a realistic portrayal of how things actually are. And the people that actually stick around, because I share this story a lot, besides myself, my boy Bobby Tran, and maybe one other, my original University of Windsor crew would go to the Lancers gym and we would train. I would say 80% of those people, and they're more dedicated than the average person, have stopped training. If you can embrace, as they call it, the grind, and still for the love of training, like I still like training, I'm gonna still train 10 years from now, I'm about this life, even if the YouTube camera wasn't on, you will make that extra 5% difference that will really differentiate you. So like any other discipline, it's the law of diminishing returns, and you have to know why you're doing it. So for yourself, if we flip this around, and maybe sometimes when people leave comments like this, it's a reflection on themselves where maybe they're not happy with their progress, understand all these things take time. That's why powerlifting has become more popular. It's objective in the sense, wow, you squatted 400 pounds last year, now you're squatting 430. That's objective progress. Focus on those numbers, focus on what you can change, and focus on those improvements, and the rest will take care of themselves. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go for an evening swim. I'm trying to get shredded. Anyways, if you like this video, if you enjoyed this video, if this made you think, I need more anchors in my life, I need to be grounded, make sure to like this damn video. And I'll see all you guys. We're back to posting frequent content. Check back tomorrow in that next video. Peace.
Yeah, buddy.
Your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.